tell me, from after Student of the Year till here, you got a lot of remarks on that movie, and you were down a little, then friends encouraged you. How does it feel today?
I mean, I was not really down after Student, to be honest, because for me, whatever said and done, maybe it wasn't that performance character for me, but it was still a lifetime of an opportunity and a role. Like today, I feel like I'm more known as Shania than anything else, for at least the children and all the kids. When kids meet me, they say, oh, "Isne Student of the Year 10 baar dikhi hai." So for me, that is never going to be like, oh, why did I do that film? Or, oh, uski wajah se I didn't benefit. I benefited, I think, maximum in terms of like the reach to all the young kids through Student. And you know what they say about young kids, they are the most loyal fans. So for me to, I would not like to say fans, because I still don't believe that I have fans. I have an audience right now who comes and watches my films, and if they like it, then they appreciate it, and if they don't like it, of course, they don't watch the film. So I still feel it's earlier for me to say that, early to say that I've created a fan base. But definitely, I do appreciate and I'm very grateful for the fact that jo bhi films abhi aaye hai, whatever has come, everybody's appreciated it. And there has been like talk also about like, what I could have done better, what I shouldn't have done better. But whatever said and done, I've gained from each film.
So are you satisfied? Was Highway the turning point?
Highway was definitely a turning point for me, yes. In terms of like, I feel like I did what I did want people to know was that I'm here to not just be a star or what they say now, a movie star, or just to be like this person who is glamorous or something. It's not only about that. Of course, that is the part that I love the most. But I also want to be an actor. I also want to play characters. I want to be remembered by the roles that I do. So I wanted to prove that point, because I felt like many people thought that maybe I'm just another baby doll who's come to, just, smile and everything. But that's not what I'm only here for. So in that sense, Highway was an important film for me. Personally, it changed my life to a great extent, because it taught me a lot about myself. I felt like I became a far more emotional person after Highway and more emotionally sensitive person after Highway. So it did a lot of things for me.
Do you get bugged when people say that Highway shouldn't be shown on DD?
I don't really know about that. I heard some small little thing. I mean, it's, I don't know how serious or how true, I don't know the situation. But
no, it's true. I spoke to the censor board, but they are saying कि वो 5 minute का जो dialogue है कि I was abused at a young age. That has so you can see it on other channels, but not on DD. And so, do you think India has grown the censorship? What do you overall think?
See, honestly, I feel like I'm. It troubles me a bit that that was something that is something that people say to cut out. And Doordarshan's reach audiences, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that family audience. It's the audience that, is sensitive to a certain amount of cinema, which I feel is fine. At home, you want to show your kids things that you don't want them to see abusive language. You don't want them to see violence because they get scared. So I am very sensitive to that. I get that, because kids pick up on things when they're young. But I also, as a side to me, also believe that whatever I'm saying happens. It happens to girls and kids and even boys sometimes who are young, very, very small ages. So I feel like that is a reality more than anything. So even if you don't want your kid to feel like, okay, there's a world out there that exists, I feel sometimes, I don't know, I'm not a parent, but sometimes for them to be aware that there is a world out there that exists that way is also important. Now, how they do it? Sorry?
Can it safeguard them, you're saying?
Yeah, but obviously you want to safeguard your kids. I mean, I'm sensitive to that as well.
So them, it can safeguard them, you're saying. It can be a
black it can be like, you can be aware. So I'll give you like an random example. A girl or a boy probably who's going through that when they're young may not understand what it is at that point. May not be able to talk about it because they don't know what it is. But sometimes maybe educating them to that is a wrong thing and it's not good for you. It's not good. It's not the right thing to do. You will talk about it. You should talk about it. When जब गलत चीज होती है, you should talk about it.
Correct.
So I feel like it's puts me in a fix where I can't really comment on say that ye hona chahiye. But I feel like as an adult today that you have to make your children aware of what is happening and what can happen. And just you can't say, don't talk to strangers. Why don't talk to strangers?
Yeah, that's the reason. Yeah.
There's a reason. You should be kids always. There's one thing that kids always want to ask. Hey, why, Mama? Why? So this should also be an answer.
Yeah.
Give it in the most sugar-coated way possible, but give it.
Correct.
So in that sense, I don't really see why it should be banned in that sense, that dialogue. And I don't know what the resolve is or whatever, but it's. I mean, in my opinion, it should be showed.
What is your opinion on cuss words not being shown in cinema? Because most of the films now are using it. Whether it's the films.
See, again, that I feel like there should. I feel like there should be a certificate. The job is to certify it that it is suitable for this age group, not change it around, because you're tampering with the creativity of the film. So I'm not saying that cuss words should always be used. There are ways to get a message across without that as well. In that sense, as much as we as actors, and I feel like the writers and directors as well, they don't want to unnecessarily say that, acha, agar maine cuss word use kiya to mera cinema bold hai. It's not that. You can be bold and you can be communicative about what you're saying without using cuss words as well. But what the reality again is that many a time, if you're in that situation, agar aap aise gaon mein ho, jahan pe chori ho rahi hai, then the thieves are not going to be talking in polite language. They are going to be abusing. That's the way they communicate. As weird as it sounds, it's not only them. Even us, sometimes when you're in a frustrated kind of situation, when you're your frustration does come out. And sometimes people do use those words. So that is a reality. So whether or not you want to show that reality is your choice. What is the censor board's job, and I feel like what is their responsibility is to certify it and censor it for the age groups. So an 18 and above or a 21 and above age group can see that because they are aware of that reality. Of course, yes, for children, it's better that they stay away from words, cuss words and violence for obvious reasons. So in that sense, I feel censorship is important in like UA, A, like how it's done in the West as well, like PG-13. They have like a whole list which is like censored to these age groups, this kind of cinema, that. So in that sense, that I think that is the norm and that's the path that we should follow as well.
How much do awards matter to Alia Bhatt? You got in film where you were related. You didn't get in some functions. How did you feel?
That is fine. Honestly, I'll be very honest. For me, an award only means that the work has been recognized that year, or that the people felt that it's worthy enough to be appreciated. For me, audience is king. Audience's appreciation matters the most. The films have to matter to certain people. It should touch them in a certain way. I'm never going to be that person who's going to say that, listen, mujhe award kyun nahi mila, I did so well. I won't be that person, because no matter what happens, if my film has reached out to the audience at that time, that's all. That's honestly what matters to me the most. But on another note, it's also a bit upsetting when you feel like certain, like I felt honestly that Kangana should have deserved the award at every award function, best actress. That's my opinion. So then again, you feel like you only have one opinion, so you can't fulfill everybody's name. Some person may feel like somebody else did a better job, somebody else. So it doesn't really matter as to who is giving you the award at the end of the day. It matters unanimously who's approving it, and the unanimous decision, unfortunately or fortunately, is in the hands of the audience.
But how do you subscribe to the theory that if you go to award, नाचोगे, dance करोगे तो ही award मिलेगा? आजकल तो ऐसा हो गया.
I hope कि ऐसा नहीं है. Honestly, I mean, I would not ever go and say that, okay, if I'm performing, then please give me this award. I would not do that, because you just suddenly feel होता है ना कि जब cheating से, when you get grades that, oh, you cheated and you got grades, there's a certain amount of side that, oh, it's not garnered, like I have not earned it. You know, it's the same
Your
thing.
conscience
You would
bites
not.
you, huh?
One thing correct. So you would not feel like you earned the award. So why take it?
So
My
what
thing
did you
is
think
that.
of Mary Kom? It didn't deserve awards?
No, not at all. I don't feel like Mary Kom didn't deserve award. I feel like also the kind of effort that Priyanka put into the film. I told her that when she won also at this Big Star Entertainment Award, you didn't get. I told her that listen, you've like put in tremendous amount of effort, and I know that she has because I met her during that time as well, and she was like her body was exhausted, and she did put herself through a lot of that. So she does deserve it for the kind of effort that she put into the role. I would not say that. I would never say that. Oh, she didn't deserve it.
No, you're saying no, Kangana, because most of the people are saying Kangana should have.
My favorite performance of the year was Kangana. Now that is not, as I said, it's not up to me. It's not up to another person. It's the unanimously what people say. And just because Kangana didn't win the award does not mean that she was not the best celebrated performance of the year. She was. She won a national award. So everybody knows that now.
Are you an insomniac as in Shandar?
I think it's still very soon to talk about what my role is in Shandar.
But do you sleep early? What is your...
As myself? I am a very early sleeper.
नींद आती है आपको या नहीं आती है ऐसे?
नहीं, मुझे बहुत आती है. I need to sleep at least 8 hours every night.
Okay. Then
I'm a very early sleeper. I get up early also.
Okay. And what is your take on intimate scenes?
What's my take on it?
What do you think they are necessary nowadays? They were not so much.
It depends. It depends. Yeah, it depends on the story. If you want to show that a love-making scene, or you want to show that two people are kissing and passionately like expressing their love, I don't think there's anything wrong in that. Again, that's a reality. That's the biggest reality of our lives. And human beings are meant to express intimacy in a certain way, whether it's through a hug or through a kiss. It's your choice as a director or writer how you want to.
Okay. And Fawad said no to intimate scenes in the film, which aaya tha mirror mein. Is that true?
I'm not aware of this statement at all actually. So
your new house you were hunting?
Huh?
New house you were hunting, no, for yourself?
Yeah, अभी हो रहा है.
क्या हो रहा है उसका?
Kind of work in progress हो रहा है अभी.
But जो में लोगे?
हाँ, I'll try to find one close to home.
Okay, not far. But why? Like you need that so much space alone and.
Honestly, it's not that I want to
go out right now. Have your.
हाँ, वो तो जरूर हुआ है. It's not only about dresses. I just have a lot of things, and I also need a lot of space. To do meetings, to do fittings, to have like rehearsals, have like just general stuff. You need your own space because I sometimes, have like fittings late in the night and it intrudes into my family time and my family's time. Like they can't sit openly in the hall and they have to go inside and all of that because then I use that space for work. So purely just for practical purposes, I think I do require a lot more space.
This reminds me of your own line of clothing. How is it going and how did you think of it?
Oh, it's going really well. We're coming up with this summer collection now, spring summer 15. So I'm quite excited about that. I just went and shot for that recently in Goa. So that'll be out soon. The launch will happen now this month. So I'm quite excited about that.
The first launch?
This is the second launch. We already launched one in October last year, September last year. That was the 5th.
So ये आपको ख्याल कैसे आया? Were you always a fashionable person?
Fashionable person मैं नहीं कहूँगी, पर मेरा interest हमेशा था कपड़ों में. Then when I lost weight for students, then clothes started automatically like becoming more of a thing to me because you start like being able to fit into like more silhouettes, and that was more exciting for me. Like earlier I would not like wearing dresses too much because I would feel conscious in them. But then after losing weight and after getting fitter, I felt like more open to wearing nicer clothes and different kinds of clothes. So this coming up in my own line is a dream come true because I'm fully involved with it, fully, 100%.
Okay. And so what is the lineup now of films, Alia? Now first is?
Urta and Shandar. Then I'm doing Kapoor and Sons with Shakun's next film with Sid and Fawad. And That's what it is.
Then your Ranbir film.
Yeah, Ranbir with Ayan. And yeah, that's pretty
Have
much
you been
the-
approached for Ram Lakhan? Hello?
I wouldn't comment on that right now.
Okay. Anything else like, actually, you were referred as Mini Kareena often, you know, before.
Sorry, say that again.
I think you were referred as Mini Kareena Kapoor before.
Yeah.
वो अभी भी है उड़ता पंजाब के सेट पे कैसे चल रहा है क्या हो रहा है? Is that tag still with
Urta
you?
Punjab ke set pe me and Kareena are not shooting together. We have different stuff. It's a film that has it has again I don't want to talk too much about it, but let's just say that we've not shot together yet.
No, but I'm saying, does that tag still remain with you? Do you like it? How do you?
No, yeah, I don't know whether it's still there. I feel like comparisons. I think it's died down now, thoda sa. As I said again and again, it's I don't feel like it's impossible for me to be compared to her. But definitely, I've just been on set with Kareena when I went. She was shooting. I went 2-3 days earlier, and I've seen her on set, and she's like a fantastic actor, man. Just so good on, so professional, so easygoing on set, so down to earth, and I saw a couple of her shots, and she's like just fantastic. She
How
just
did
hits
you
all the
got along well with her?
Yeah, I mean, we were sitting and chatting on set both days that I was there, and she's really very warm and very cool and very like that's very down to earth. Like it's very easy to strike a conversation with her. She's very calm and very collective. So I mean, she's nothing this like. I mean, she's the biggest female star probably in our country, but of our industry, and so experienced. But she's not at all like starry. She's very, very down to earth.
Okay. Then what else? और क्या हो रहा है? How do you get? I'm sorry, but you get linked up with every hero. Varun, then with Arjun, then with Siddharth. How do you feel it? How does your dad take it? Because you mentioned in some interview once your dad came and asked you, "Are you dating Arjun?" क्या? So how
that was ages ago, and that was
yeah, but घर पे
I
कैसे?
don't react to it. मेरे लिए कुछ नहीं है. I mean, like I'm very clear about how I want to keep my personal life away from my professional life, and I don't feel like it's necessary or important for me to talk about who I'm dating or who I'm not dating or who I like or who I dislike. I think that's one thing that I can safeguard for as long as I want. Whenever I do want to talk about my personal life, I will. But at this moment, I totally don't want.
But then sometimes don't you get harrowed when, like, you know, when you're seen with someone, say for Siddharth nowadays, and then people write about it. So don't you feel the need to come out and talk about it?
No, there's nothing to talk about. I'm not going to clarify or unclarify whether I'm hanging out with so and so person. I think it's up to me who I want to hang out with. So it's fine. It doesn't bother me.
When you want to talk, that means, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Okay. What else? दीपिका के वीडियो के बारे में क्या लगा आपको? Some people are saying it's really women's liberation. Some people are saying no, it is sexist.
See, I think everybody's entitled to their opinion. I really like the video. I think it's the way you look at it. It's not about taking it so literally by making like a big deal out of it, saying that, oh, it's my choice to kill somebody, now it's my choice to do that. I think what he was trying to say was not so conceived and not so, at least that's the way I look at it. It's not so literal or not so like closed. I think it's a broader picture where you're talking about. For me, I looked at it in a way that, you know, you need that women, many women do not have a lot of choices. And that's the reality of our country. It's not, and I don't think that we are really the example for that. I probably do have a lot of choices in my life. I don't think what he meant was that having a choice is empowerment in general. What I feel it meant was that let's give the women who don't have choices the choices. Let's make them aware that they have a choice. I recently met some women in Punjab. I was researching for my role and I was hanging out with certain amount of women. I won't specify the type and the kind of people that they were because that will give away a lot about my character. But I realized a lot from their lives that they don't have much choice in life. And what's sad is that it's not us giving them the choice. It's just the way their lives are carved, and because the condition that they're in and the kind of money crunch and life crunch that they have is that they don't have the choices. So I think the point is to improve the quality of life of people in general. Of course, women, because now that's a big talked about subject, definitely. But I, as a girl and as a young woman, I have a problem with this constant, why do we have to stress so much about empowerment? Like, empowerment it should not be such a drawback for us women. It should just be like any other person, like any other man. Like, you don't see people talking about men empowerment, but you see people talking about women empowerment. We should reach the state in our country and in our life that we don't have to be fighting for women's rights. Women should just be easy and comfortable.
So are you trying to say that he's saying that there are choices in this world? Women reach out for those. Is he trying to say that?
That's the way I looked at it. That, listen, I have a choice. This is my choice. I want to make this choice. Can I have this? Can I not have this? So things like that. I don't think it was stressing perfectly on, listen, do these things exactly. I don't think that's what he meant.
But doesn't it come out as a rebel? Because when I saw it, I thought that, he's telling my 14-year-old daughter, listen, she can turn around and tell me, Dad, I'm going to come home at 6 o'clock.
See, again, that's the way you look at it. Yeah. He's not saying girls do this. He's saying that I think the point was, I don't know. I have not had a chat with Rundi Homie about it, but this is the way I look at it. That you're saying that, listen, I'm talking about the extremes, but what I mean is that I should have choices in general, and I should be able to take my own decision in general.
Correct.
That's what I think he meant. I think it's the broader picture, not what the typical particular.
It's gone slightly misunderstood.
Yeah, people should just learn how to just be a little easy, I feel, on the whole situation.
Done, sir.
Okay.
All well with you otherwise? Mummy, daddy, everything at home?
Yes, all well.
So when are you going back? To last question. When are you going back to your shoot?
I'm going now. I'm here for the next 1-2 weeks to finish off my brand shoot.
Then you're going to Punjab?
Then I'm going back to Punjab, yes.
Okay. Lovely. Yeah. All the films are good, yeah, which you're doing. You're not
I
lucky, but you deserve.
I hope, yeah.
No, I seriously feel so. So, not that we are flattering you or anything, but you really come a long way.
Yeah,
honestly,
honestly,
who does, feel that a director's daughter will make it, or, at the end of the day, always star daughters or from FTI or somewhere.
Yeah.
So all the best. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank
and
you
do
so
stay
much.
in touch. Okay?
I will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.